What's up everyone? My name is Sarah and I am the owner of Taylor Chip. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make our homemade caramel sauce. What you're going to need is a large pot, obviously a burner, a whisk, sugar, butter, salt. I love using Himalayan pink sea salt because it's a lot healthier than regular plain table salt. And then you're going to want to also grab some heavy cream. So first you're going to want to put your burner on medium-high, and we're gonna pour in all of our sugar. I have 10 cups of sugar here. And this process takes about 30 minutes to actually melt the whole, or all of the sugar that we put in here. So we're gonna be stirring it constantly until it's completely melted. Sugar is starting to get crystallized, and there's little pieces in here, and this is because it's melting. And you just want to make sure you're paying attention to it because caramel can burn very easily, so making sure you're scraping the sides and the bottom. So the sugar is looking very crystallized. It's starting to turn a little brown, and then soon it will start melting. So there's a bunch of little pieces here, and you just want to keep stirring so you don't burn anything. So we use our caramel sauce for our salted caramel pretzel cookie. When we were initially making the caramel pretzel cookie, we bought caramel from the store for 1 week, and it completely ruined the cookie, and there's high fructose corn syrup in it and just a bunch of unnecessary crap, in my opinion. And so we started making our homemade caramel sauce for that exact reason, and now since we're opening up our creamery, we hope to use this as a topping for ice cream as well. Now it's getting a little more melty, and it's also starting to change color more. Just want to make sure you're scraping the edges so all of the sugar starts to melt and not just the center. Right now it's a very light caramel color, but we're gonna wait until it gets to like a darker red, maybe like a darker brown you would call it, I'm not sure. You'll see. So at this point, you want to make sure all of the clumps of sugar are melted and the color turns, and that's when you know that the caramel is ready for the next step. So the caramel is almost completely melted. There are a few little tiny chunks of sugar left. I usually like to get out as many chunks as I can before moving on to putting the butter in. So I'm just gonna let it on this medium-high heat still. And also the brown color isn't like a reddish brown yet. So we're just gonna let it on here for maybe like 3 more minutes. All right, right, I think it is ready for the next step. So you can turn off your burner, and you're gonna want to take the pan off of the heat and put it on a hot pad. And next we are going to dump the butter in intervals. If you whisk in slower motion, sometimes I think it's easier for the butter to get mixed in with the sugar. And I also change the direction that I'm whisking as well, and I think that helps too. Okay, so the butter is pretty much all whisked in. So our next step is going to be to pour in the heavy cream, and we're pouring in 5 cups of heavy cream. The first cup, and so I'm going to mix this in intervals as well. All right, we're going to pour in some more heavy cream and whisk again. And as we pour in more and more heavy cream, it is going to start thinning out, versus when we just had the butter and sugar in it, it was a lot thicker in consistency. If you're skilled enough to whisk and pour at the same time, go for it. And the color is definitely bronze, like a reddish brown, very deep, and that's what you want it to look like. And then the last step is going to be to add just a pinch of salt. If you are somebody who measures, I would say maybe like 1/4 to 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. And we're just gonna throw that in there and then stir. And your caramel is done. Just make sure to let it cool. I usually put it in the fridge right away so it can cool down. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe.